Hello everybody, and welcome back to another week of the RBL. This is week 2 of season 6 against Relly and the Cincinnati Cottons. His team would be the one on the other side of the screen. This side of the screen would be the team I brought this week. Quickly run through it just to explain it as best as I can from what I remember. We have Passimian. It is Choice Scarfed with 252 attack, 4 special defense, and 252 speed. An adamant nature, running close combat, quick attack, U-turn, and rock slide. The quick attack is on there purely because he might have stuff that outspeeds, so I'm going to just get some damage off from that if I know it outspeeds me. The rock slide is on there because he has Mega Pincer. Obviously didn't bring Mega Pincer this week because you don't see it, but he does have it, so I want to make sure I had coverage for that. Next is the Crustal Eugene. That has leftovers with Sturdy, with max HP, max attack, and 4 special defense. It is an adamant nature, running Stealth Rock, Rock Slide, X Scissor, and Knockoff. That was for Mega Pincer and also for Weavile. Its main job is to stop those, and then Knockoff's on there, get rid of items and stuff, because it's really nice. We have Tapu Koko with Cocoa Puffs. Is a Specs Tapu Koko with 40 HP, 252 special attack, and 216 speed. It is a timid nature, so it's not plus special attack. It is plus speed. I believe that's what timid is, right? Yeah. It has Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, and Hidden Power Ground for the Magneton. Then we have Tutti Frutti, the Cofagrigus. More like Tutti Frutti, but it's Tutti Frutti. With Mummy. Of course, has leftovers, has max HP, max special defense, and 4 special attack, and it is bold. I'm actually looking at this now. I don't know why I made it that way. It should have had more defense, but it does not. It has Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Destiny Bond, and Haze. We have Zygarde 10%, Pluto with Life Orb, with max attack, max speed, 4 special defense, Jolly Nature, 1,000 Arrows, Rock Slide, Extreme Speed, and Dragon Dance. And then we have Baby Luigi the Reuniclus. This one is rocking the Ghostium Z with Magic Guard, 252 HP, 252 Special Defense, 4 Defense. It is a bold nature with Recover Psychic, Calm Mind, and Shadow Ball. So looking at his team that he brought, he didn't bring the Mega Pincer, which I prepped a lot for, didn't come, so that's whatever. But the Sableye seems like his most logical lead. Tapu Koko is the best thing against a Sableye. So I'm going to lead off with the Tapu Koko against his Sableye. He leads off the Sableye, I lead off with the Tapu Koko. And he goes for the Trick. Gives me the Lagging Tail. Phenomenal play. I think this was a great play. I Volt Switch out because that would have killed, and it doesn't anymore. I'm going to go into Crustal. I'm going to go for the Confuse Ray, and I'm going to knock off, which is going to get rid of his Choice Specs, and he's going to recover. And I believe I go for the Rock Slide here. Yep, go for the Rock Slide. I realize I don't want to hit myself in Confusion, so really there's no reason to kind of stay in here. But I do stay in here, go for the Rock Slide again. Now is a good time to switch out, so I'm going to switch out and bring in Cofagrigus, which now, thinking about it, had I had more defense, that would have taken the hill a little bit better. I don't know why I was specially defensive. That's a problem that I made. He's going to knock off again. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp and miss, unfortunately, which is, awful. I'm going to switch out and go into Tapu Koko, because Tapu Koko can take close combat or a knockoff because it doesn't have an item. Or the item that it has, I don't want. But I'm going to now go for the Volt Switch. Or no, I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, then Volt Switch. Nope, I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, then Hidden Power Ground. As he goes for the Thunderbolt, do 40%. Hidden Power Ground is not going to do enough. Actually, only do 46%. So this thing's most likely Eviolite. I'm going to go into Zygarde 10%. So he goes for the Volt Switch, so I catch this thing. I'm going to go for the 1,000 Arrows and get the KO on the Sableye. Nope, just kidding. I Dragon Dance, then I 1,000 Arrows. And I get rid of the Sableye. Of course, the Confuser. So he doesn't run the Will-O-Wisp, which I was expecting. He's going to confuse me. Going to recover, but I'm going to eventually get 1,000 arrows off, and kill the Sableye. Then he's going to go into the Haxorus. Now here, I don't run Dragon Stab. I don't have Outrage, so I don't want to stay in because I don't want to take a hit from myself in confusion or anything like that. So I'm not going to stay in. I'm confused. I'm not staying in. So I'm switching out. And I'm going to bring in the Cofagrigus. He's going to go for the Dragon Dance. I'm just going to click Haze this turn. He's probably going to Earthquake, and he does. Mummy's obviously not going to activate at this point. This gives me the ability to go into Passimian, which should be shiny, but it's not. He's going to Earthquake. He's not going to KO. I'm going to Close Combat. I'm basically just going to let Passimian get damage off on this thing, let Haxorus kill it, so I can bring in Zygarde 10% and Extreme Speed and get the KO there, and then I don't have to worry about it, because obviously I can Extreme Speed over everything now because the Sableye's gone. So we're going to get rid of the Haxorus. It is now 4-4. He's going to bring in the Weavile. I'm going to switch into Crustle, because Crustle's designed to deal with the Weavile, and the Ice Shard is going to come through. I didn't mention this, but I dropped Ledian for Crustle. Should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I did not. He's going to bring in the Magneton. I'm going to X-Scissor. It's going to do 16%. I don't want to take anything from this, so I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into Tapu Koko. He's going to go for the Thunderbolt. I didn't want to run the risk of this thing going for Hidden Power Ice. That's why I switched into Tapu Koko. I'm going to go back into Zygarde 10%. I'm going to click 1,000 Arrows, get rid of the Magneton. This Magneton is gonzo. And he's going to bring Weavile right back in. And I'm going to switch in to Crustle on the Ice Shard, because I know that's what he's going to do. He's going to Ice Shard again, does 17%. So I don't have any gauge really for what that set is. That I don't think is banded damage. He's going to go to Hariyama. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, which, you know, was what it was. He's going to go for the knockoff on Crustle. I'm going to lose the leftovers. And I'm going to go for the X-Scissor, because X-Scissor does the most against the other moves I have. It doesn't do anything, though. I'm going to switch out now into Reuniclus. I'm going to take a Close Combat pretty well. And then I'm going to switch out and go back into Crustle as he goes for the knockoff. And then he's going to Close Combat and KO. So I'm going to lose that, but I have the ability now to go into Zygarde 10% and KO with a move, but I make a bad play here as I go for the Rock Slide instead of the 1,000 Arrows, which I should have clicked. What happened at this moment was I should have clicked 1,000 Arrows. I did not think he would stay in because he would lose Hariyama. Bullet Punch didn't KO. What would have happened in this instance, which is the problem is really I lost because there was no way I was winning this at this point, because the Bullet Punch did enough damage where I would have taken it and then I would have died to the 1,000 Arrows, and then Weavile would have won the match. So I couldn't win at this point. People were mentioning to me like, oh, you could have, you made the wrong play. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I was going to lose 2-0 regardless, because Zygarde 10% wasn't going to live, obviously. The Life Orb Recoil from the move would have KO'd anyway. Right, like that I wouldn't have lived. Here I should have gone for the Psychic. It would have killed, but I didn't. I went for the Calm Mind. Which at that point, maybe there was a chance I win. If I hadn't done that. But here I'm just going to Extreme Speed, get the KO, and then Zydog is going to die to the Life Orb Recoil. So people are telling me I should have clicked 1,000 Arrows. It wouldn't have changed the outcome really, except for had I switched out into Reuniclus then at that point, and then clicked Psychic, maybe Hariyama would have been KO'd, and then Weavile would have come out, and then I don't think Extreme Speed would have done the damage I needed it to do, unfortunately, because I didn't have anything that would have done enough to I wasn't going to win at that point. So even if I clicked 1,000 Arrows, I would have lost, because Reuniclus didn't have the moves to deal with the Weavile. I didn't have Focus Blast. I had the Never Ending Nightmare for the Mew. I wouldn't have won at that point. So I actually after this match was feeling a little bit worse, but now I don't feel as bad because it didn't really matter what I did, because even if I clicked the 1,000 arrows, I still would have taken the. I mean, I could have extreme speeded, which would have been probably the best play there, which I didn't do. I don't know if it would have KO'd at that point. I think it must have, because obviously I came in and KO'd, so it would have KO'd actually. So the best play was actually, they were saying it was the I can't think. They were saying the best play was the 1,000 arrows. I think it would have been extreme speed. It didn't click close combat after that, and it got the KO. So the best play was actually extreme speed, because the +2 extreme speed, +1 extreme speed. It wasn't +1. So I could have extreme speeded the Weavile and could have extreme speeded for the KO on the Hariyama, then extreme speeded again. I don't know if it would have killed the Weavile, but I wanted a large amount. But then I still wouldn't have won, because Reuniclus couldn't deal with it. So I think I lost earlier in the match. Tapu Koko getting the lagging tail was unfortunate, but it was a really, really, really good prep on Reli's part, and I want to give him props for that. I didn't expect that, so when he used that, I was quite surprised. It's unfortunate that I lost again, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time this season for me to adjust to some of these new Pokemon. A lot of them when I drafted I don't have any experience with. This week is a shining example. Cofagrigus, Passimian, Crustle, and Reuniclus I've very rarely used. And then Tapu Koko and Zygarde 10% I've used, but of course I've only used them against other Gen 7 OU Pokemon, pretty much. So it'll take a little bit of time, I think, to get really into it, which is unfortunate. I'm hoping to be able to get back into stuff soon. This match was much closer. I'm trying to really think about what the best possible situation was in this, but it didn't matter, because obviously Weavile. I don't know if Weavile would have died. I haven't run the calc. I can run the calc. I don't know if it would have KO'd or not, because I didn't run the calc. I don't know if a Life Orb to extreme speed would KO Weavile. If it did, well then, hindsight is 20/20. I don't believe it would have. If I had a D-Dance up, it would have. I was worried. Haxorus, I did find out, was Focus Sash. I didn't have Dragon Stab, which was a problem. If I had known going into it that it was Focus Sash, because it could have been Scarfed, I think I would have still outsped at that point, but who knows. I could have gone for the 1,000 arrows and then extreme speeded, or just gone for 2,000 arrows. Would have been fine. But hindsight's 20/20. I didn't know what was going on in the moment. I made some poor plays, some too quick thinking, and I lost because of some of the stuff I did. But it's an adjustment. Zygarde 10% still did phenomenally. It went 4-1, which is really, really good. I'm happy with that. I didn't get to bring out the Never-Ending Nightmare Reuniclus, unfortunately, so that sucks. But there is time. We can keep going, and eventually we will pick up a win, I'm hoping. It's possible we won't, but I think we will at least once. Next week is against Drew. He is the head coach of the Sin City Sableyes, Drew, aka FTSS. I've played him. He's the person I've played the most. He will be the person I've played the most. I played him in Season 2 twice. I put him in Season 3. I put him in Season 4. Did not play him in Season 5, but playing him again in Season 6. Of the 4 matches we've played, I'm 3-1. So he is the main coach who I have a good record against, but I'm not going to consider that going into this next match, because his team is very, very scary. He has the Scizor, the regular Scizor. He has Mega Sableye. He has Kyurem Black. He has a really threatening team, and I'm a little terrified of it, so I have to make sure I build a team that can stop that, because it's dangerous, dude. It is a dangerous team. But we're going into that. We're going to hope that the stuff we did can come through. Like I mentioned, he is someone that I'm familiar with, that I know what he does somewhat. I'm going to watch. I watched his week 1 match recently. I don't think that one is a telltale sign of how to beat him. I don't think it says nearly enough about his team. He hasn't had his week 2 battle yet, so I'll watch that one when that happens. Try to figure some stuff out. But with that being said, I think we're going to end this video off here. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Continue to support your Ravias through the tough times they have been experiencing lately. It is hopefully not going to last much longer, but I have no promises and no guarantees, because I've struggled for a little while with some of these matches. So I'll see you all next time for week 3. Hopefully we'll do better. And until then, take it easy.